No, it was just no. They had a big celebration somewhere. When they post that, the man was like, "Oh, nobody in Chinatown, nobody in Chinatown in Taiwan." No, they trying to compete, huh? The Taiwan thing? Yeah, of Taiwan. So how did they put that? Yeah, their stuff. Yeah, no, the Barbara and them.
Their council, they went to Taiwan?
No, no, they went
Oh,
to the celebration.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
and on their post.
That's the Independence Day
Gotcha.
celebration. And then we
That's for we. Well, we mark them on Facebook.
please be seated. Thank you, and good evening, everyone, and welcome to the city of North Miami. I want to thank you all for joining us for another council meeting in the city of North Miami. And in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, if you haven't do it yet, I invite everyone to grab a pink ribbon in the lobby, symbolizing our prayers and support to all the brave families battling with the disease. And I look forward to seeing you on October 19, 2019 in support of breast cancer awareness in North Miami, at North Miami Senior High School, October 19. That's where the city of North Miami will have a big event called Shooting for Awareness. It's in order to show our support and prayers to those families battling with the disease. Also, I would like to send a warm wishes to all the families that will celebrating Yom Kippur tomorrow. Madam City Clerk, can you please roll call?
Councilman Desilme,
Here.
Councilwoman Estimate Irvin,
Present.
Mayor Bieneme,
Here.
Vice Mayor Keeves, Councilman Galvin.
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum to proceed.
Thank you very much. And now we're going to have Pledge of Allegiance with Sergeant Carlos Miranda from the North Miami Police Department, followed by our invocation with Rabbi Joey Lane from Beth Mosey Congregation.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Rabbi.
Excuse my back. For everyone, first, I hope you have only wonderful things. For me, as a rabbi, as a Jew, we just celebrated last week Rosh Hashanah. So it means a new year. So what I wish to everyone is that you should have a sweet new year, only good things. Tomorrow, we observe the holiday of Yom Kippur. It's the Day of Atonement. It's about sin and forgiveness. Nelson Mandela said, those people who don't forgive, it's as if they drank poison and are waiting for the other person to get sick. The thing that we learned about this holiday is that we all have to forgive. We have to have it in our heart. If we want God to forgive us for the sins that we commit, and none of us are perfect, then we have to be willing to forgive other people. So my prayer tonight is that God invoke his blessing on everyone to have an open heart and the ability to not only forgive, but to accept other people's forgiveness. And everyone should have only good things. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi. Do you have any special presentations?
No, sir.
Today? No. City event?
Good evening, Mayor, Council, staff, North Miami neighbors, and guests. I'm Unicia Baker. I'm the Senior Public Information Officer, and I'm here to share some of our city's upcoming outreach programs, initiatives, and activities with you. The Hispanic Heritage Month celebration continues Thursday, October 10th at 3 p.m. with the return of the popular Teens Can Cook program at the North Miami Public Library. NOMI Library teens will get the chance to cook and taste traditional meals from Latin countries with Chef Dario. It's free and open to teens ages 13 to 18. Space is limited, so please RSVP by calling 305-891-5535. The Greater North Miami Chamber of Commerce luncheon will take place Wednesday, October 16th at 11:30 a.m. at the Miami Shores Country Club. There, North Miami's rich Hispanic and Latino culture will be celebrated through music, art, and dance. Tickets are available on Eventbrite, so please call 305-891-7811 for more details. Shooting for Awareness, Mayor Philippe Bien-Aimé's Breast Cancer Awareness Girls Basketball Tournament will take place Saturday, October 19th from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. in the Joe Celestine Center Gymnasium. Join us in cheering on girls' high school basketball teams as they challenge each other to shoot for breast cancer awareness. Councilman Alex Zezume will host the District 4 Town Hall meeting Thursday, October 24th at 6:30 p.m. at the Joe Celestine Center. Topics include housing rehab, police, social services, emergency management, streets, and public works. The North Miami Police Department will host 2 free active shooter survival learning sessions for the general public. Session 1 is Monday, October 21st, 2019 at the Gwen Margolis Community Center. Session 2 is Monday, November 4th at the Joe Celestine Center. Both sessions are from 6 to 8 p.m. To RSVP or learn more, please email northmiamipolice.com. That's SCHERY@northmiamipolice.com. The next Getting Geared community bike ride is Saturday, October 12th. The 10-mile ride leaves from Mocha Plaza at 8:30 a.m. and has stops at Griffin Park during the MJD Wellness Health Fair and the NOMI Library Cafe. This month's ride is to honor Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The haunted trails of North Miami's Enchanted Forest are spookier than ever this Halloween season, and you and your families are invited to join them at your own risk. The City of North Miami invites you to join us Friday, October 25th from 7 p.m. until 11 p.m. Bring the entire family out to enjoy a spectacular costume parade from our local ghouls and goblins, games, music, spooky storytellers, and fall festivities. For more information, call the North Miami Parks and Recreation Department. Their number is 305-895-9840. And if you're a North Miami water utility customer, please note that all in-person utility billing customer service needs are now being handled exclusively at the City of North Miami's customer service centers. Such services include account creations, account reactivations, account closures, customer inquiries, bill payments, and sewer credit application submissions may also be done there. The NOMI CSE is located right across the street. The address is 811 Northeast 125th Street. Be sure to have all required documents before visiting. NOMI water utility customers should also note that the city now has a new and improved online utility bill payment system located in our e-services portal at northmiamifl.gov/utility bill. The new system has no minimum payment amounts, no convenience fees, and online delinquent account reactivation services are available. For more information about these important utility bill customer notices, please call 305-895-9330. Stay up to date with the latest happenings in our city by visiting northmiamifl.gov. Then click the Connect with NOMI icon on the homepage where you can sign up to receive our monthly NOMI newsletter. Residents may also like the City of North Miami on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. This concludes today's announcements.
Thank you very much. Any city project presentation?
Not at this meeting, but we will have a full update as requested by the council on water plant and renovations at our next meeting.
Thank you very much. Do we have any hurricane preparedness?
I want to ask about what's going on.
Nothing at this time.
What's going on outside? That's not all week. Is this a tropical storm or?
This is raining.
It's
This
with the
is
flood?
just rain.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Mr. Manager, do you have any addition, deletion, amendment, or deferral to the agenda?
None at this time, sir.
Thank you very much. Consent agenda from A to H. Madam Clerk.
Unless a member of the City Council wishes to remove a specific item from this portion of the agenda, tabs A through H constitute the consent agenda. These resolutions and items are self-explanatory and are not expected to require additional review or discussion. These items will be recorded as individually numbered resolutions adopted unanimously by the following motion. Quotation marks, that the consent agenda comprised of tabs A through H adopted, end quotation.
Thank you very much. Can I hear a motion on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you very much.
I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve the consent agenda. The motion was seconded by Councilwoman Estimate Urban. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes with a 5-0 vote. Tab H, I apologize, Tab I, proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, authorizing the city manager to issue purchase orders in an aggregate amount not to exceed $540,000 annually for the purchase of pumps, drives, and motors parts and services, piggybacking Miami-Dade County contract number 6819-5/17-5, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members. Alberto Estrada, Purchasing Director. The item that you have before you is staff's request for your approval of a pre-qualified pool of vendors to supply the city's Public Works Department with pumps, drives, and motors, as well as repair and maintenance services, and to authorize or seek your authority to issue purchase orders in an amount not to exceed $540,000 annually. As reflected in the council report that was submitted in support of the item, on April 2008, the Miami-Dade County Board of Commissioners approved the award of a pool of pre-qualified vendors for the purchase and repairs of pump drives and motors through solicitation number 6819-517-5. On June 2018, the county approved the extension of this pre-qualified pool of vendors through July 31st, 2023. This pool of vendors consists of 50 different suppliers, which were pre-qualified by the county under their solicitation based on an estimated purchasing volume of over $212 million, which represents a significant bulk buying power that's available to the city through means of this contract. The city's Public Works Department relies on this pool of vendors to ensure a rapid response to the necessary repairs to the city's water and sanitary sewer infrastructure systems by having a ready and cost-effective supply of pre-approved suppliers from which to select the best price, parts, and services for the city. With me tonight in support of this item is the Assistant Public Works Director, Mr. Tom Positano, in the event that you have any questions regarding this item. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you very much. Let's open tab I to the public. Public hearing is open. Public hearing is open on tab I. Public hearing is now closed.
Move approval.
Second.
Any questions? Councilman.
I have no question, but can you just clarify why you decided to do the piggyback route instead of? No, I just want, I don't have a problem with it.
No, I do.
promise.
I'm kind of glad you mentioned.
I don't, but I just want to, just the clarification on record, that's all.
Sure. Well, typically we'll do that, Councilwoman, when we have a
Too often.
situation like this. For instance, as I mentioned, the buying power that the county has, and again, their program is over $212 million. You know, we certainly can't attract that sort of cost-effective pricing and participation. They have 50 different vendors that participated in their program. So anytime you have a program of that magnitude, it's for the city, it's really much more effective to avail ourselves of that, because we're basically availing ourselves of this huge program where we can tap into their prices and their vendors and so forth.
Are you all set?
Yeah, I'm all set.
Thank you very much. Any other questions? Thank you very much. Can I, we have a motion already. Second, Madam Clerk.
I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve the item at tab I. The motion was seconded by Councilwoman Vice Mayor Keys, All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes with a 5-0 vote. Tab J, proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, approving the city administration's competitive selection of Magellan Housing, LLC, as the highest ranked firm to redevelop the Rux Park site, authorizing the city manager and city attorney to negotiate an agreement with the selected firm, Further authorizing the city manager to grant site control to the selected firm in accordance with the terms, conditions, and specifications contained in request for proposals number 14-18-19, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes.
Once again, for the record, Alberto Estrada, Purchasing Director. The item that you have before you under tab J is simply a request for your approval of the Evaluation Committee's recommendation to award RFP 14-18-19, which is a redevelopment of the Rux Park site to the firm Magellan Housing LLC. In addition, staff is requesting the council's authorization to authorize the city manager and city attorney to negotiate and finalize an agreement with Magellan for the development of the Rux Park site. The city had issued this solicitation requesting proposals from qualified and experienced firms who were interested in partnering with the city for redevelopment of the Rux Park site. The Rux Park site is located at 13780 Northeast 5th Avenue, and it consists of approximately 6.32 acres. The primary goal of this solicitation was to seek proposals for a suitable mixed-use project for the site, with the focus being on affordable workforce housing, which can also contribute to the city's tax base. In response to this solicitation, Magellan submitted their proposal. Their proposal was in turn submitted to the Evaluation Committee. The committee was made up of staff representing the city's Office of Community Planning and Development, the North Miami CRA, and the Finance Department. And the committee unanimously their consensus was to recommend award of this solicitation to Magellan, subject to final negotiations. So that is what is before you this evening, council members.
If you allow me, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Some additional information for clarification. As you know, this meeting your policy directive on producing and bless you, coming up with more affordable housing and dealing with our affordability issue in the city, we have been advancing many of these items. Specific to this item tonight, I wanted to put on the record, we are approving the developer tonight and allowing for the approval of site control. This will allow the developer to actually submit an application with the state of Florida with regards to tax credit financing that has a deadline of October 22nd. We will then start, if approved tonight, we will then simultaneously start negotiations with the developer to bring back a full development agreement, which would come back before this board, which would deal with the details of the total number of units, the design, timing, and all the other more relevant details that would need to be part of the development agreement. So just wanted to put that on the record. Representative from the development company is here, Mr. Nick Namder. If you have any additional questions, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Let's open it to the public. Public hearing is open on the item. Just a quick, sorry.
What is this?
Good evening. Jessica Alston, 1140 Northwest 125 Street in Sunkist Grove. I just want to say this item here is very vague to me because I didn't know what the Rux Park site was or where it was. And I feel that for clarity's sake, the location should have been listed in the item. Additionally, I have a concern of the, I don't, I'm not an expert like all of you. However, I hope that the site control does not encompass the type of housing units or configuration that this site is going to be in. I don't know, that's not clear to me. And if it does, it seems to me premature to give site control to a developer when it's not clear what you're allowing the developer to do. So I just feel there needs to be more clarity. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Public hearing is still open on the item. Public hearing is still open on the item. Public hearing is now closed. The desk.
I just have a couple of questions, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
What does that mean, the site control?
Specifically, in order to meet the, one of the minimum standards for applying for the tax credit application with the state of Florida, the developer has to have, received the, I guess, the award of the rights to develop on the land, and we have to physically, I guess, turn over legal control of the property for them to do so. We have a site control document that specifically states that site control is being granted for the sole purpose of just making the application, and that it would revert back to the city at a certain date and time. If
How long? What's the certain
it's
date?
April 2020, I think, is the minimum date
Oh, of next year.
of next year.
Okay, because it
just a
was
temporary-
vague.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
temporary.
that's
It's
fine.
temporary.
The other question that I have is the Atala partner group. How you doing, Nick? The Atlanta partner, the development team, are those consultants, or are those paid consultants, or are those just volunteer work? And how is that play within the development?
The development team is Magellan Housing, Royal American Development, and
Yes.
Haslam Housing Ventures. So those are the partners in the development. We do have a community partner, St. Louis, and
Well, there's a whole host bunch of people.
Now we're
including-
working on the site control.
yes, sir.
That's what we are, that's the important part. Anything else? From what I understand, right? I thought, as a matter of fact, I thought we were going to come with two resolutions. One to approve Magellan as the sole
The awarded developer.
we would for the development, and then since we have that deadline for October 22nd, we were gonna have another resolution to allow them to have the site control so they can put in the application to the state.
That's what's included in this resolution in
You're
front of you.
doing one for two.
One for two, and then just guidance to me to
Yeah.
go and do the
In the
full-
development agreement,
We will
that's when you can
negotiate all of that.
negotiate
We will deal
everything
with
else.
all of those
Yeah, yeah.
issues. Yes, sir.
That's the most important part right now. It's the site control.
Correct.
And they're the only applicant for that affordable housing. And when we're talking about Works Park, that's something they've been working on for over 10, 15 years. That means it's not new. 10, 15 years. We've been talking about Works Park, Works Park. Sometimes it's a CRA project, sometimes it became a city project, until right now we try to build affordable housing on the site. That's been in the making for 15 years, not just today. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Madam
Wait,
Thank
my
you.
question was not answered.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
sorry,
Okay.
Councilwoman. Yes? The development group, are they a part of the document, the 700? I'm trying to figure out the what is the group? Is it called the Alata?
The Atala is the name of the
Atala,
project.
yeah. Oh, it's the name of. So these folks, the development team, what role do they play?
So the development team, again, is Magellan Housing, Royal American Development, and Haslam Housing Ventures. And so so that's the development group. The development group, we all have certain skill sets, and they'll be involved in the project throughout the process, from the Florida housing application, from determining what the final unit count is, the layout of the project. So to the previous speaker, this is the very beginning of the process. We haven't designed the project yet, the layout. All of that will be done. It'll all be brought back before this board for input, and we look forward to working with the community and this board at the appropriate time.
Okay, Councilwoman.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm really excited about this project that's in my district. So I'm really looking forward to approving this tonight so that we can address, like the city manager said, a lot of the affordable housing issues that we have, and I'm glad that it's in my district. So just wanted to.
I say thank you to the mayor.
Mr. Mayor, you're a mayor at large now. This is my district. Thank
I
you.
understand that. But remember, it was Works Park. It was money moved from Works Park to Cagney, so you can get the beautiful Cagney, and we change Works Park from that water park, and we never can get authorization from them, and we transform that to affordable housing now. That's been in order to be there today. It's been years in the making.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for your leadership. And now I'm glad it's in my district now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman.
So we're going to be giving the manager the authority to enter into a development agreement, which you will be bringing back to us.
Yes,
for
the
approval.
development agreement gonna come later.
Will that also include site plans or just the development
That
agreement?
would be everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
But now is the site control in order for them to put the application.
Right, to
If
see
they
what
get
you can do.
rewarded, that means we know in a few months or year we can get that affordable housing built.
Great, okay.
And we need to show that when we're talking about affordable housing, it's real. It's not fiction.
Congratulations, Mr. Mayor and Councilwoman Irvin. You've got a project coming up.
Thank you very much, Councilman.
Sure. Can
Yes.
we, put out some press on this, or whenever it's appropriate, and B, start calling the site the Atala as opposed to Rux Park? Rux
Yes,
Park,
yes, we
sort
have
of like
we have to start
rebrand it,
changing that. Yes.
You know, I don't have any questions. I'm just asking to
Okay.
put a smile on.
But in the press also, Scott, remember early today we just had 6 affordable housing units on that 48 total units for that project. How do you call? It's called
Nomi Village.
Nomi Village, and we were gonna put under the 5 units because from that $2.5 million put aside for affordable housing, 300,000 we were gonna approve 300,000 to build that 5 affordable units for seniors. It's coming next month. That means when we're talking about affordable housing, it's real, and we want to work toward that, and we are moving. Can I hear a motion on the item, please?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Madam Clerk.
I have a motion made by Councilwoman Estimate Irvin to approve the item at tab J. The motion was seconded by Vice Mayor Keys. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The item passes with a 5-0 vote.
Thank you very much.
Tab K, proposed ordinance, second reading of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, providing for text amendments to chapter 29 of the city of North Miami Code of Ordinances entitled Land Development Regulations by amending Article 5, Development Standards, specifically at Section 5-1405, to revise the standards for parking and/or storage of recreational vehicles, boats, trailers, and personal watercraft, providing for repeal, conflict, severability, correction of Scrivener's errors, and for an effective date. Tab K.
Thank you. For the record, Tanya Wilson with Community Planning and Development. This is the second reading of an ordinance dealing with the parking of recreational vehicles in single-family districts. As proposed, the ordinance would limit the parking or storage of boats, watercrafts, recreational vehicles in the front yard, and instead restrict those vessels to the side and rear yard. An administrative variance application would still be required. The mayor and council approved this on first reading unanimously, and staff is looking for approval on second reading at this time.
Thank you very much. Public hearing is open.
Good afternoon. I live in Keystone Point. My name is Anna Maria Polo. I'm 13305 Biscayne Bay Terrace, North Miami. I've lived in this community since 2009. I own an RV. It's 24 feet. It fits perfectly into my property. It's not ugly. And I just want to be able to maintain that for my community. I believe that that's why we live in this beautiful neighborhood. I'm very pleased with what's happened in the last, I would say, I don't know, 6-10 years in the community. Everybody's beautifying. But I would like to have the liberty to maintain a recreational vehicle which has got wheels. I can understand boats. I can understand old cars. I can understand why we want to beautify everything, but I would like to be able to maintain the liberty of having a vehicle that is pleasurable to me, that I can use at any time, and does not restrict my liberties. I just wanted to let you know that.
Thank you.
Any questions?
No.
I brought pictures. If you want to see my home, it appears very beautifully. It does not interrupt any neighbors. So if anybody wants to come by my home and see it, that'll be fine. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Public hearing is still open on the item. Public hearing is now. Can you?
Hi, I also live in Keystone, Adriana Hurtado, 1980 Alamanda Drive. I did buy in Keystone a little over 4 years ago, and one of the prerequisites that I had when I was looking for a home was that I would be able to park my RV, which I intend to get in the near future. That's why I'm here as well, because I do want to have the liberty of having that, love the neighborhood, love what we're doing in all of North Miami, and I would like to continue to have that privilege. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Public hearing is still open. Public.
Jessica Alston, 1140 Northwest 125 Street, Sunkist Grove. I just would like to get an understanding of what a recreational vehicle is. It's not very clear. When you say RV, are you talking about the big trailers, or what are you talking about? And that's all I'm talking about. Clarification. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Public hearing is still open on the item. Public hearing is now closed. Mr. Manager, if someone can give some clarification about that recreational.
Yes, it is referring to an RV.
Okay. Thank you.
Camper. Yes.
Thank you very much. Member.
I just have a couple quick questions for staff. For clarification, those who have RVs will still be allowed to park them in their rear of the property.
Side yard or rear.
And or the side, obviously taking into account any of the setbacks.
Correct.
So the only place where this restricts a resident.
Please,
I'm trying to address her question. Her RV, I'm sorry, I didn't catch her name. Hi, your RV.
Anna Maria Polo.
Hi, Ms. Polo. This question is for you through staff.
Yes.
Ms. Polo has an RV. Will she still be allowed to park it in the rear or side of her home?
Yes, correct.
Will she be allowed to park it in the front of her home?
She will not be. Okay. So it's a prohibition in the front, and it's only allowed in the side or the rear with screening.
May I show her my picture?
Through you to staff, Ms. Polo, welcome to the City Council. We've had a series of workshops and public inputs and things like this for months to get to the point where we are tonight.
Correct.
Keystone and many of your fellow neighbors, not you perhaps particularly, don't want RVs parked in the front yard. So this is born of the request of Keystone that we eliminate the ability for people to park their RVs in front of their house. Obviously, if you're just pulling in because you're just packing up and you're getting ready to go somewhere, that's one thing. But permanently park or affix the vehicle in the front of the home will no longer be allowed. You can still park it in the rear or the side.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman Keys.
No comment.
No comments.
So Tanya, it is allowed in the rear of the home?
Yes. So the rear or the side is the way the language is written.
Okay. Because I didn't know, because I saw one in my area, but it wasn't on the side. I thought it was, okay.
Councilwoman Stime.
No question.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk.
Move approval.
Second.
I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve the item at tab K. The motion was seconded by Councilman Desilme. Councilman Desilme, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mayor Bienemay, how do you vote?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Keys, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilman Galvin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilwoman Estime Irvin, how do you vote?
Yes.
The item passes with a 5-0 vote. Tab L, proposed resolution quasi-judicial of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, approving a transfer of ownership in accordance with section 11 of the conditional use permit approved under resolution number 1637, attached hereto as Exhibit A, further adopting an amendment to the conditional use permit to allow the construction of a parking garage for property located at 1820 Northeast 142nd Street, and specifically identified with Miami-Dade County Folio number 06-2221-023-0010, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes.
Do you have any presentation? No?
Quasi-judicial.
Oh.
Where the people?
Anybody who wishes to speak, please stand up as I will be swearing you in. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give in these proceedings will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If so, say aloud, I do.
I do.
Thank you. Please be seated.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you. Again, for the record, Tanya Wilson with Community Planning and Development. The request before you is for an amendment to an existing conditional use permit. For orientation, the location of the property is at 1820 Northeast 142nd Street. It's currently known as Alera Apartments. Some folks will know it as Portofino, the prior name. This is a very old conditional use permit. It was approved back in 1973. At the time, was approved for mixed use to allow for residential, some office, some retail. In terms of the code itself, any amendment to a conditional use permit that would trigger a transfer of ownership, or in this case, an additional square footage that's been added through a parking garage would require for the applicant or the current owner to come before mayor and council and request amendment of that conditional use permit. Thank you. So you'll see on the screen shortly that the property is actually located off of Biscayne Boulevard within that mixed-use district. Total acreage is about 23 acres in size, and as I mentioned before, this is a built environment. It's an old historic property, and the only reason the applicant is before you is because of the transfer of ownership, as well as the proposed request to build a 4-story garage on site. So the applicant is requesting approval of the resolution at this time. We have an agent from the applicant that's here and wishes to speak on the item at this time.
Good evening, Mayor Bienemay, City Council members. My name is Devin Vickers, and I am joined with my colleague, Alfredo J. Gonzalez. We have offices at 333 Southeast 2nd Avenue. We're here on behalf of the applicant, BRE Portofino MF property owner, to request 2 minor modifications this evening to the existing conditional use permit to the property. As Ms. Tanya mentioned, many of you are familiar with this property. It's the Alero apartment site located at 1820 Northeast 142nd Street. By way of background, as she mentioned, the CUP is pretty antiquated, and it was approved for the site in March of 1973, which approved the construction of 5 apartment buildings at the site, which is exactly what is currently existing at the property today. Today we come before you for 2 minor modifications. One, to add the language to the existing conditional use permit to allow the construction of a 4-story parking garage for the sole amenity of the existing residents and visitors to the Alero site. The current CUP only allows for 5 buildings, so we are requesting to add the language to allow that parking garage. And the second is more of a technical modification to section 4-11, where we're requesting the deletion of that section that requires city council approval prior to any sale of the property. Now this, we're requesting this condition is deleted because it's inconsistent with the current CUPs that are currently approved and issued for properties in the city of North Miami. So we're simply requesting that that section is deleted from the current CUP, since the adoption and issuance is no longer consistent with what the city normally issues for CUPs. So if you all have any questions specifically about the parking garage, I am at your disposal, and we favorably or respectfully request that you approve the modifications to the existing CUP for the construction of the 4-story parking garage, as well as the technical modification to delete section 411. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You can be seated, then we're going to open it to the public. If we have any question on the dais, we'll call you back. Thank you very much. Public hearing is open on the item. Public hearing is open. Public hearing is now closed.
Move approval.
Question.
Second.
Councilman. The section, Ms. Wilson Sojo, 4.11, that she wants us to delete from the code, what exactly is that?
So as you mentioned before, it's an antiquated section that says every time an ownership changes or the property is sold, they have to come to city council for permission to sell the property.
1970, not just antiquated.
It's like, I know.
It's as old as me. It's really
It's
antiquated.
1973, so there's no CUP you'll find in 2019 that would have that kind of restrictive language where you can't sell a property without seeing the mayor and council.
Okay.
Why do we have it in there?
Back
That's
then,
the council,
at the time.
1973, right?
Yeah,
I
perfectly
It's not there anymore in the new one.
If you remember historically, I'm sorry, here's the old man. Historically, this city was very anti-development beginning in about the year 1970. That's when we locked in the 4-story cap for any development citywide. And this was built in the early 70s. So I'm going to guess that the mindset of the city council at that moment was still very anti-development or restrictive. And it just has remained on the books now for 50 years.
Correct.
For that property in the new CUP, you don't need it for now.
You
right?
don't,
Exactly.
yeah. So today they would not have had that language there.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman. Thank you very much, Madam Clerk.
I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve.
Second?
It was seconded by me.
Second, she seconded.
I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve the item at tab L. The motion was seconded by Councilwoman Estime Irvin. Councilwoman Estime Irvin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Keys, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilman DeSulme, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mayor Bien-Aimé, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilman Galvin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Item passes with a 5-0 vote.
Thank you very much. Citizen Forum. Citizen Forum. Any citizens
No.
who wish to be
No,
heard
sir.
and talk? Citizen Forum is open.
Motion to close citizens forum.
Second.
Citizen Forum is now. Citizen Forum is now closed. Council reports.
Yes.
Yes, Carol.
First, on a sad note, I'd like to wish my condolences to the family of Larry Casey. He was an excellent former city manager, also a neighbor and resident of North Miami, and I was just informed that he had passed this week. So condolences. We should all remember him as a very valuable asset for our city. And also, I just want to wish everybody a happy and sweet New Year and a
What do you
easy
mean
fast.
happy and sweet New Year?
What?
They said tomorrow.
We are in the New Year, high holy days.
You're
so
still in the New
we're
Year.
still
Oh,
in
you
the
didn't
New
have a
Year.
chance to do that
So
last
everybody
week.
a
Okay,
Sweet
I
New
see.
Year and a easy fast for those who fast.
Oh, you know? You say for those. Councilwoman Estime Irvin.
No report.
Councilman Desjardins. Scott.
I just want to echo what Councilwoman said about Larry Casey, and hopefully the city will send at the very least, some flowers. You know, 25 years he was our city manager. That's a heck of a long time. And so we tip our hat to Larry.
Thank you, thank you very much, and Mr. Manager and PIO, and I hope that you put a note out there about affordable housing. You know, the county just had a summit about affordable housing throughout the county. It's a crisis, and the goal is to add, I think, 4,500 additional units in Miami-Dade County, and in the city we are moving forward. We are working on it. If you can put a note, not only the 6 units from that project, the other 5 I think next month the CIA going to fund it. And of course, what's the name of the last one? Atala?
Atala.
Yes, please.
Well, and just for the record, the Nomi Village, based on their average AMI that they'll be offering,
yes,
actually we can count all of those units as
workforce and affordable, and
yes.
some of them gonna address the very need of the people.
Correct.
If you have a 2 brand new apartments for $1,200, that's tell me where you can find that.
Yeah.
We're talking about brand new. We're not talking about crappy apartments that people have to pay $1,500, $1,600 on 6th Avenue. You're talking about $1,200 for a 2 brand new with amenities. That's been. Thank you very much, and Madam Clerk.
Councilman Desame, did you want to remind everyone again about your town hall?
They'll come.
Okay.
You're just trying to make us
Just
stay here
No,
long.
no, not at all.
The 24th. I'm sorry, Madam Clerk. We do have on the 25th, which PIO did not announce. On the 25th, we are having the grand opening of our first pantry. And is it 10 a.m., Natasha? At 10 a.m. is the ribbon cutting of our first pantry in the city of North Miami, hosted by us. We're excited. Thank you. At Sunkist Grove, right? Thank you.
Thank you. City Attorney, do you have any report? You're not done? Eh?
I didn't give a report yet.
Oh, go ahead.
So I do have a few things to say before we get into the board appointments for the Parks and Recreation Board. So as I give these announcements, you may want to start reviewing those applications. The first 2 things I'm going to briefly acknowledge are things that I believe are important within the city, and I wanted to take this time to acknowledge both of these events, which were also celebrated by the North Miami Police Department recently. According to the National Breast Cancer Foundation, 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in her lifetime, and it is the most common cancer for women in the U.S. after skin cancer. While on average every 2 minutes a woman is diagnosed with breast cancer, this disease also affects men. Early detection can make the difference between life and death, and that being said, if you haven't already done so, I highly encourage you to talk to your doctor about scheduling your mammogram appointment. While I was campaigning, I did meet a lot of individuals who are actually dealing with this disease, and this is one that's extremely personal to me. And so I just want to say to our neighbors and our friends who are survivors and current patients, keep fighting, and we're with you in the fight for a cure. I also wanted to acknowledge Domestic Violence Awareness Month, which is celebrated in October. And this affects millions, both men and women, of every race, religion, culture, and status. Nearly 1 in 4 women and 1 in 9 men will be a victim of domestic violence. And nearly 3 out of 4 Americans personally know someone who has been or is the victim of domestic violence. So I think this is the perfect opportunity to come together and not only support survivors, but also take a stand against domestic violence. And finally, I'd like to also acknowledge this special day for which this meeting was actually rescheduled from tomorrow to today. Tomorrow at sunset, we'll begin the most holy day on the Jewish calendar, Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. And to all of our neighbors and friends who celebrate this special holiday, I do want to wish you a meaningful fast. Board
Thank you.
appointments.
Oh.
So we're going to do the Parks and Rec Board.
Okay, to go quick, I'm gonna reappoint Sarah McDevitt on the board of Park and Rec for my
Give me 1
appointment.
second.
And can we go quick, so we're gonna go home. You got it for that one? Carol, you,
Mine are still.
okay, it has.
Good.
Scott, do you wanna?
Whomever I already have, this goes for every single board. Whomever I already have appointed, I would like to reappoint.
Madam.
So you'll be reappointing Mr. Eduardo A. Moliner.
Every
And
single person on
Yeah.
every board.
for the record, you will be appointing Rachel Goldberg as well?
Yes, that's what he said. Madam
No
Council.
appointment.
No appointment. Okay.
Do you have
That's
any
been-
appointments, Councilman Desmond?
No, I don't.
What
Okay.
about the one who were there? They need quorum.
I have a question for you, Madam Clerk. Are these the only applicant that you have provided here for?
These are the only individuals who have applied. We're working with the city manager's office to actually publicize these vacancies to attract more candidates to apply.
Thank you
Wait,
very.
Did they not have an appointee? What's his
Ye-
name?
You had Mr. Evans Henry.
Yeah, he didn't want to serve anymore.
That's your conversation to have with him. I
Still
mean, he's
there?
still there.
Okay, I'll look.
So you'd like to reappoint him?
Yes.
Is Sarah McDivitt on the board?
He just
She was
Mayor
reappointed
Okay.
by Mayor Bianame
Oh,
just a few
Okay.
seconds ago.
Yes.
That's it.
You all set?
Um,
City Attorney.
wait, question. Do we have an affordable housing committee?
Yes.
We
Well,
do.
Not yet. No,
under
we don't.
construction?
We
We
don't
already
have
have a
one.
housing committee.
No, the one is for
Affordable
the
housing.
purpose of the CDBG. We don't have one for for that
You,
board.
you
No.
have this section here.
Yeah, at the next meeting we would think about that. City Attorney, do you have any reports?
My report will take about 20 minutes, sir. No, no
Thank you
report.
very much, City Manager.
No report other than to say we'll be bringing back the affordable housing initiative.
For the
that-
5 units for elderly.
Right.
Thank-
And the overall policy recommendations.
Thank you very much. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Why don't you meet with, like, get this together and meet with everyone and just bring one list and. No, I'm saying